Hey, Dad Bob Walker here. One more Christmas present from the family. Let's take a walk and see what's inside. Here we go. All right, so we just got these out of the box. This is the M.A.S.K Series 1 from Big Bad Toy Store. Gonna open them up and take a look at them, give you my thoughts on them. These will be actually my first M.A.S.K toys. Watched the cartoon growing up, but never really had the opportunity to have the toys. We grew up humble, which is a nice way of saying we grew up poor. But it was all good. Had a good life, loving family. But these will be officially my first M.A.S.K toys, which I'm super excited about. Love, love, love the packaging. They did an amazing job with these. We'll open them up one at a time, take a look at them, and see what we have. I'm gonna enjoy this walk. All right, first one up is gonna be ThunderHawk. Let's see what we have. Taking a look at the packaging. I may display these boxes with it. These are really, really cool. Got both helmets. Here we go. Oh, wow. Take a look at that. Now that's pretty. That's pretty. All right, so here's everything in the box. You get the ThunderHawk, you get your mat tracker with his two helmets, with the blast effects. You get the blast effects for the car, the launcher, 2 disc, and the bombs and sticker sheet. Okay, I think I'm gonna put the stickers on right away. However, I'm tempted to see if I can totally see Toy Hacks making some, but I want to get these on to kind of see what it looks like. So yeah, let's get those applied. Follow the directions. All right, here we go. Here's ThunderHawk mat tracker all stickered up. And after playing around with it, it does have that old school nostalgic kind of feeling. Imagine if you walked into a toy store that had collectible old school toys and you pick this up. It feels like the same plastic we had as kids growing up, okay? Which I think is a miss on Hasbro part, or Kenner, who you know, have to double check who made this. On their part, for the simple fact that it would have been a great opportunity to make a little bit more sturdier. This door right here popped off on me a couple of times, trying to get mat tracker in there. It does pop back on, but again, that happens a lot with a lot of Hasbro toys where things will pop off, but they don't break, you just pop them right back on. So here we go. Let's take a look at putting them in flight mode. Okay, here we go. There it is. Okay, odds are this is how I will be displaying it, okay, in flight mode, okay. And something else to point out is this wing right here tends to sag down. I just push it up, but it does droop down a little. Imagine with a little bit of there's a little spring in there. I could tighten up, or a little bit of Kiki. It'll be good to go. If you don't know what Kiki is, it's just floor polish. Comes in a tube. You can find it on eBay, and it works out perfectly. So you can put the little rockets on the bottom. Get those in there. And something else too to point out is that as a kid, these things probably were easier when we didn't have the adult hands. Because every once in a while I find myself, you know, struggling a little. But they fit in there perfectly, okay? And you push the back little engine, exhaust, and they drop right out. Okay, with that, they make these awesome blast effects that go right in there. They look pretty cool. Okay, put that in there. Yeah. Oh, got to put the disc launcher on there. Perfect. Okay. Now here comes the true task. Okay, is putting the driver mat tracker on the inside. You got to get him positioned. Squeeze those legs together the best you can. Get him ready. Now there's a little seatbelt in here. I recommend when you get the seatbelt off, don't push it in all the way. There's a little hole right there. Okay, that it'll go back into. Let's see how we do getting him in there. It's a little tricky. You got to be patient getting him in there. And there he is. Oh, so you got to get the seatbelt around him. Let's get that around his hand. Use my trusted spludger. Got those, again, those adult hands. So there he is. He's on the inside. And again, the seatbelt, I recommend just pushing it down softly, not all the way into the hole, because it was a bit hard to get out. And there he is. And it does look cool. It's got that old school nostalgic feeling. It does bring back some memories. Again, I didn't have this toy as a kid, but I remember seeing it at people's houses, playing around. So it does feel good to have it back in the collection. There it goes, a little drooping. Okay. Yeah, I'll open up the rest. Oh, and the blast effect, I'll probably just push this off to the side, possibly on a little stand. It doesn't come with the flight stand, but I have a couple that I work with this. There it goes again. Yep. Probably have to put some, you could probably also wedge something in there to help make it work. All right, there it is. All right, and now it's time for the big boy, the tractor. Okay. We got Matt Tracker again, Sato, T-Bob, and Scout. Okay, again, these boxes look amazing. Okay, little side right there. Little smoke effect, which I don't think the original toy came with. It's gonna be amazing. All right, let's open it up. Let's see what we got here. I'm gonna open it from the bottom. Of course, we got the sticker set, instructions. And again, the instructions, they look like the original instructions that would have come with this. Over for a second, slide it out. The plastic does feel flimsy. And there it is. Let's see if we gotta cut this in or just lift it. Another cut. Oh, nope. I thought it was just going to be one piece of tape. Sometimes when you open a figure, there's tape on every side, every angle, and it just takes time. Once you look at that. Oh, there they go. We'll pick those up in a minute. Let's get the truck out. And look at that. The chrome on this thing looks amazing. It looks amazing. Get the figures. Look at the little guy. Blast effects. Look at that. All right, let me get this guy stickered up, and then we'll take a look at him. All right, so there it is, all stickered up, and I got some comments about the sticker. I'll see that towards the end, but there's the Rhino, and this is probably how I'm going to have it displayed. I I may put some magnets, like a magnetic strip going across right here when I put it on the shelf, like sticky, and just a little cutouts probably for their feet. I noticed there's little pegs in their feet. I wonder if they sell things for that. I'll take a look at that. However, the chrome on this is amazing. This definitely looks beautiful. With the purple, the way it pops, it really, really, really stands out. Okay, and let's take a look at Sato for a second. This helmet here is a little tight when you try to put it on. I'm gonna hold off on putting it on. And I want to know if people who had this toy back in the day, I'm a little worried it's going to start rubbing off in his nose because I think that's where it's hitting. The other helmet fits better, so I could display with that one. But I am thinking of having in the display the mask kind of circling around and the characters. I'll play around with that. The mask fit perfect for Matt Tracker, no issues. But for Sato, they just get a little stuck, and I think it's because of the nose. I'm just worried about the rubbing on his nose, okay? And here's T-Bob and Scout. They look pretty good. Easy to transform him into his scooter. Arms in, arm in. Actually, let me rotate that arm. Make it a little better. Arms in, okay? Works perfectly. No issues there. Get the little pegs on the back for his feet. Squeeze them together. Put them on there. Let's get them on there. There we go. Probably just have to force it on there a couple times to get it to stay. There we go. Well, you get the idea. Let's assume that it stayed on there, and then we can bend him forward. Get him riding. The only thing that's unfortunate is you can't position his head all the way up. So yeah, there we go. So probably have him. Let's try it one more time. Then we're gonna move on. There we go. Okay. So maybe like that. Have them displayed like that, okay? Now, let's point out some cool things about the Rhino. Move this to the side. Of course, you got the buttons in the back. Activate the battering ram, okay? You got the ejector seat over here. Okay. Then, well, this is probably my favorite. Oh, take the smokestacks off, which are amazing. Okay, rotate these forward. And down, out. Let's get closer for a second. Rotate this forward, out, and then down. You get the blast effects you can put on there. Which are cool as well, okay? And the command center, okay? And this back piece does come off as well, okay? Put a driver in there. Okay, it does come with a tow hitch. The chrome on this, again, is amazing. It's really tight. I can't get my string out. Supposedly, you can turn this to help winch it in. I'm not going to force it. It'll look fine like that on the display. Just look at that chrome, just bling bling. Okay, and here's the defense unit, defense station. There we go. Okay, and the rocket launcher does shoot. It does look pretty cool in there. Does look pretty cool in there. Got the sonar, the radar dish, I should say. Again, the chrome on here is beautiful. It's amazing. The stickers. Not happy so far with the stickers. On the other side, my bad about the camera shake. On the other side right here, it doesn't look like the sticker is matching up perfectly. See where I'm off a little bit right there? And the stickers are not the best. Okay, it's coming off right there a little. Then right here, it seems as though the stickers turn around the other direction. I feel as that purple should be up to follow the theme all the way through it. So in my mind, the purple should be up to connect right here. But it has this little cutout, this notch to connect. So I'm gonna explore that a little bit more to see what I can do about possibly getting a different sticker set or just living with it. But I'll figure that out when I get there. But again, this Rhino is amazing. The drivers fit in it perfectly. The drivers are actually easier to get in. Yeah, they're not too bad to get in. Okay. They fit perfectly in there. Just gotta position them. But I may display with the drivers out so you can get a better glimpse of them. Okay. And something about those smoke stacks, just make it look really, really cool. Now that is a great looking vehicle right there. Push these smoke. The smokestacks push in to kind of secure them in place. Turn that around. Now again, that is a pretty looking truck. Okay. Again, the Rhino, and again, it just looks beautiful. So, all right, we'll move on to the next one. All right, now it's time to look at the Switchblade. Super excited for this one. I don't know if anybody's reading the Skybound comics. Yeah, they've been appearing in the Transformer most recent issues. Mayhem got a little slapped around in the last episode, in the last comic book. So yeah, gonna open this one up. Let's see what we have. Beautiful, again, beautiful artwork. The boxes give you that feeling like you're a kid again. And there's nothing cooler than a helicopter that turns into a jet, okay? Opening from the bottom. So the opening of these have been fun. The only thing I'm not too happy about is this plastic, okay? It's got this cheap plastic feeling. I don't know if you can hear it. There we go. Okay. Just tilt it back a little bit so you can take a look in there. Oh, this thing's amazing. There, of course, the instructions slipped past me. Again, not too happy with the stickers. They've been hit or miss. On the Rhino, they weren't the perfect. They didn't fit perfectly. Super excited for this one. And again, that chrome, you probably can't see it, but that chrome looks amazing. With that blue, got some blast effects. Oh, that's gonna be amazing. Let's get that out. Let's get Mayhem out. Get his mask out. So, let's see. All right, fits perfectly, okay. For Sato, I was a little worried. It was rubbing on his nose, but here, seems to fit perfectly, no issues. And there we go. This one's tight. Might hit it with a little bit of heat to kind of expand the mask. That's gonna be an option, because I don't wanna force it down. Again, just worried about rubbing that nose out. If you play with these as a kid, let me know in the comments if you got those noses rubbed off. All right, so I'm gonna sticker this up, put all the accessories in, and we'll see where we're at. All right, all stickered up. And once again, I didn't have the M.A.S.K toys as a kid, so the Switchblade is a really, really it took me back to my childhood, wishing I had it as a kid. I can only imagine if I did have this, I'd probably be the coolest kid in school. This thing is amazing. And again, once again, for those people who are reading Skybound comic books, Mayhem has an appearance in there. He gets slapped around a couple times. Highly recommend reading it. He even has this is exactly what it looks like, even down to the blue gloves. Amazing. So this the stickers are an issue. The stickers were paying for the Rhino. I want to show you something really fast. So this is what the sticker sheet looks like. You can definitely tell more care was put into this sticker sheet than the other ones. Not only are they numbered, but they tell you exactly where to go, okay? The Rhino stickers seem to be miscut in a couple places, but let's take a look at this figure, okay? Now, this was cool. So let me do this really fast. Let me drop this down, getting it into jet mode. Actually, before I show you that, let me show you helicopter mode. Some cool things about helicopter mode. So again, if I had this as a kid, I might have been the coolest kid in school. So you got these. Yeah, okay. You got the little rockets that come out here. Okay. The cockpit is pretty cool too. Now, when you lift it, I recommend, there's gonna be a little stopping point. Don't go past that, okay? I think I got a little crack in mine. I can't tell if that's just a crack or a sprue where it got miscut, but be careful, don't go past that, okay? Now let's put the boss man in. Slight bend in the knees, get those hands up. Again, the mask, put his mask on. Oops, I'm gonna put this mask on. The other one, I'll have to heat up. It's not going on all the way. Actually, he doesn't need his mask right now. Let's get him in there. There we go. Get his arms down. In the cockpit, you added some stickers in there. It's got a cool look to it. Okay, all right. Let's get him to jet mode. Bring these down, push this down, and this is gonna be pretty cool, okay? Gotta bring the propeller to lock it in. I don't wanna give it away. Slip that back in. So here we go. Let me do it this way. Hold that down. Bring these up. Tell me that's not cool. There we go. Oh. Maybe. I'll play with that later. Again, the chrome is pretty amazing on these. Push these up. Get that wing positioned. Pretty cool. You get these little right here. Yeah, okay. Now, you do have a rocket that drops for a bomb. Okay, that's pretty cool. When I display it, I will get this little blast effect right here. The missile clips in. There we go. I'll put it on a flight stand. I have some pretty cool flight stands. I'll put them on like that. Let's put these on here. This definitely needs a flight stand to show off some of the cool features. Again, I was thinking back, didn't notice that. So let me show you something. So didn't notice this beforehand. This is cut. If you guys can see with the circle, this is missing that. It's missing actually that piece altogether. There's that blast effect. This is missing one. I'll have to check the box again. Let's see if we got if I missed it, but I think I'm missing part of the blast effect. Unless I dropped it on the ground. I'll look around and I'll make a comment on the final show and tell, but I think I'm missing that little piece. But anyways, we'll figure that out in a minute. But there it is, beautiful figure. Definitely needs a flight stand, and yeah, one more to go. All right, the last one, Condor, the little one, with Brad Turner. This has been fun, opening these up. Been a very, very interesting experience. I've already commented before about the stickers. I've got mixed feelings about it. The Rhino was the hardest. Some of the stickers, again, probably sound like a broken record. The stickers didn't fit perfectly. Open up Switchblade. It does have a QC issue. It is missing part of the blast effect. So I'll contact BigBadToyStore, let them know about it, and we'll see what they can do. All right, here we go. So a few little stickers. Looks like for this one, not too bad. 3 stickers. Hopefully they go on okay. Yeah, we'll get to that. All right, here we go. Here's the vehicle. Oh, now that does look cool. You know what? There's something said about packaging and doing it correct. So it has the blast effect already on the wheel, and that looks pretty cool, which makes me want to display it that way. Okay, let's take off Brad Turner. Take a look at him. And he comes with the mask already installed. Look at that. What I'm doing is I'm looking at their noses. I don't know if you can see exactly what I was afraid of. Right, it probably is going to be a little bit hard to see on camera. But right here, there's a little imperfection. Probably a little hard to see on camera. Try to get it just right. Get you to focus. Just a little worried about that. Let's see if this mask fits better. Again, I think I'll just take some heat to these to kind of loosen them up. The only thing I didn't like that this one came with the mask on. So possibly in packaging, yeah, you can see it right there. Right there on the tip of his nose. Which does bum me out. It is a bit frustrating to open a figure. And again, I get it. Like, this was cool. This was cool. Having that on there was really cool. But then again, maybe have the mask off. That would have been appreciated. So, yeah. Let's get them stickered up and then take a look. All right. So, again, last one, Condor. It looks cool. It's got the cool smoke tire. Opening the box, amazing. I can't get over the nose. That really does bug me. Okay. Again, it's small. You really can't see it. But the mask, again, it came pre-packaged with the mask on. Took it off. It's there. Okay. They are a little tight. Again, I'll probably hit it with some heat, but let's show off the vehicle. Actually, let's go back to him. He does look cool. Similar to the rest of them. Probably should have did a better job of showing off the articulation. They can go up and down. So they're all pretty much the same. You got the knee bend. Their articulation consists of being able to get them in a driver position, okay? So that's the purpose of the articulation. Not really too much, no head swivel. Or you know what, it does have a head swivel. You just gotta kind of force it. This will be fun to play with, okay? All right, so here we go. So Condor, again, pretty cool smoke effect. I really like that in the blast effect. I may or may not display it that way, and I'll show you why I may not, okay? But it looks cool. All right, so Condor, here we go, okay? Wheel back, bring this up, lock that in, extend this out. Flip piece back here, unclip, and then works perfectly. Okay, so here's something to show you that I'm not too happy about. Let me rotate this back a little bit. Okay, so to try to get Brad Turner in there into the scooter, so he's driving. I'm trying to squeeze the legs to get him as tight as I can, and he just won't fit perfectly in there. Okay, let me try this method. Again, let me try to bend the knees, get those bent, get that hip in there, push the legs together, get those hands up so they're out of the way. So every time you try to force it in, it wants to push that seat back. There we go. So actually, that wasn't too bad that time. Maybe you just have to hold the bottom of it to get it in place. So let's put that back in there. And to be honest, hey, that's not too bad. That worked out that time. Okay. And with the sticker on there, and again, stickers. So lock that back into place. Put that wheel in there, smoke effect, blah. Put that little blast effect on there. Where'd it go? Does it only pop up when the wheel comes up? Let me see something. Yeah. So what I did is the little gun up there pops up when the seat comes up. So what I did is I kind of like pushed it, gave it a little push. So I think I am gonna display the blast effect there. And then just like that. Okay. Brad Turner with the rubbed off nose. But again, these M.A.S.K blast effects are really cool. I do appreciate that. So, all right, Condor. Let's put all these on display and then do some final thoughts. And here they are on display. No regrets on getting the box set. However, there are some issues. Starting with the stickers. Not a fan. The technology again does exist where we can have vinyl removable stickers, so that way when you put it on and it's not perfect, you have the option to remove it. Okay, right here on the Rhino, the sticker just didn't line up correctly. Then right here on the front, it seemed to be miscut. The purple should be on top. It seems to be the theme throughout the vehicle. Another issue with the helmets. Again, and this is normal in the hobby, probably gonna have to take some heat to kind of expand the mask a little bit. Matt Turner over here, you got a little nose rubbing there. They are tight to get on. Blast effect, missing part of it. I went back and looked at the video. It is missing that. So I'll contact Big Bad Toy Store. I know they'll be pretty good about it, so I'm not too worried about that. It was just unfortunate. Little other things, it should have come with the flight stand. You got the Switchblade, you got the ThunderHawk. They do look good. They are flying vehicles. However, the original toy didn't come with flight stands either. And that is what you're getting with this set. You're getting a reprint of the original toy with a little bit of extra blast effects. Again, those Rhinos, on the Rhinos, those smoke effects look amazing. Okay, blast effect there, blast effect there. In addition to that, you're getting that extra helmet for every character. Okay, so that's pretty much the bad. Now the good. I didn't have these as a kid, and it did feel good opening these up. A little nostalgic. They do feel like the original toy. So it did give me that feeling of reliving a childhood. Another part, look at that chrome. It's just amazing. It stands out. It's going to look great in a collection. So overall, it's a soft recommend. If you have these already in your collection, the original toys, I think you're good to go. If you're looking for, something to, that nostalgic look to add back into your childhood or get back in the collection, go for it. But they're a soft recommend because they are the original toy. There are other manufacturers, well, there's only one right now, Ramen Toys, that's making M.A.S.K figures. However, they're not making everything on the line. There will be a second wave of these already coming out. I don't know when the pre-order goes up, but I think I'm going to be picky on which ones I get to add to the collection. So again, I hope you liked the review and enjoy the walk.